Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everyone? Welcome to Monday night, and it's Airfix and Chill. In the panel, we've got James, we've got Luke, we've got Zinzan, we've got John, and we've got Johnny. Nice to see you, gents. Just quickly, I just want to add this because I promised I would share it. Right, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. That's the one I want. St. Ives Model Show have changed their dates, so they're now going to be Sunday, the 5th of October. So if you want to go along to that, please do. And there's a best table display sponsored by modelsforsale.com, which I think they're good little company, that. And the next one is Lincoln Scale Model Show, which is a week later, Sunday the 12th, 2025. So if you want to go along to that, I know it's $5 to get in, and it's at the EXO Centre at the Lincolnshire Showground. So I thought I'd nab that because I promised to do it last week and I didn't. So I want to get out of the way now so I don't forget. All right. So there's your model shows. And I think Yeovil's around October time as well, but I've got the wrong leaflet on there. I didn't see it was April. It's in October time. But anyways, right. So if you've just woken up, something that's really exciting for me anyway, is that Airfix have brought out their masking set for the Lysander. Obviously, it's one of those things where you think, at last. Believe it or not, they're made by Cartograph. They've never done them before, but I think Airfix, well, by what I was gathering from Dale, it's that Airfix went to Cartograph and says we want to start doing masking sets, and they said we've never done them before. So they went away, and I think Clint did all the measurements and everything else, and they've produced these masking sets, which are comes with really clear instructions. They do inside and outside as well, so you've got the cockpit and everything else. So you can spray it one way and then spray it the other way and then take it off. So yeah, it's a nice little touch. As you see, that is the Cartograph. That's the Cartograph logo there. So they've been made by Cartograph. Now, I've been privy to the development of it because I was sent this months ago, and this was the prototype. It's very much changed now. You can see the difference there. It's very much changed. But this was the I'd even done a video on it, hoping that Airfix will let me release it, but no, I wasn't allowed to. So so what they got. I mean, it's the same tape, I believe, is what Tamiya tape is, but the deep ones here are a lot darker. But I think it's a great move from Airfix. Now, so yeah, and that's the difference. So the prototype ones are these are the so you got that color in them, and we just go bigger so you can actually see. Whoops, let's get in close and then try and get it to focus. It will focus in a minute. It's being a bit of a tart. Come on, it should focus in a minute. Oh, it's not focusing. Oh, well, there you go. So you can see that it's all, you can see if I just twist it, you can see there's lots of, you got closed and open. So there's, I think that's your cockpit glass or your canopy. So
that's rear canopy.
Yeah, rear canopy in it.
Yeah.
That's so
really
loads. And you got a really clear instruction sheet as well. Tell you exactly where everything goes. So yeah.
Nice.
If you can see that there, it's like got X22, which is the name of the letter of the sprue, isn't it? X. So it's saying if you've got part X22, you need all these. So it's a very well designed. I think Clint, the researcher guy's been involved with this. They're for sale for £10 each, $9.99 on the Airfix website. So you can go off and have a look and see how it all develops for you. What's that one there? Well, that's something else.
Are they pre-cut, Moss?
They are pre-cut. They're all pre-cut. Basically, it's like buying an Eddard one.
Yeah.
So, question: why have Airfix teamed up with Cartograph, who've never done masking sets? Not a company with a known history of producing masking sets such as top-notch masks. Well,
Yeah,
The relationship is pretty close.
Yeah.
They ask them if they can do it. There's a trusted relationship there because you've never heard of a. Was that the
Sorry.
dog?
Yeah, that's me. Hold on.
Amazon's calling, is it? There's yeah, Amazon. You've never heard of a kit delayed because the decals haven't turned up in India, have you? You know what I mean? So there's that relationship there with them. And to be fair with you, if anyone's going to do something top notch, it's going to be cartographed. You know, they're not going to. So they've gone out and they probably bought the machinery, said, "What do you need?" And away you go. So yeah.
But the question, you already have the machinery.
This is great for both companies. It's great for Airfix because they move into something new and they add a lot of value into their offering. And it's great for Cartograph because they move into a new market.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. Good for both. Good for both sides. That way.
Yeah, it's very, very good for it. Just looking price wise, you're looking at £10, and I know that's like nearly a third of a kit. You know, what's the Lysander now? 40 quid, is it? Is the Lysander about £40?
£39.99, I think it is.
Yeah. So it's it's about a third of the kit.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's
I think that's worthwhile, to be honest with you, because you know, there's a lot of glass in that Lysander. There's a lot of masking to do, and you can do it yourself, but it'll take you 3 years. Quite honestly, get a masking set. It'll take you, an hour.
3 years and broken glazing.
Yeah.
For the,
you can do it with really thin strips of tape, but either way, it's it takes a hell of a long time. This is a really good move.
Yeah.
Adam McDonald says they need to be more competitive with the price at £10 with all the aftermarket options that you can get, which are just as good quality for a £5 and under. I've bought cheap masking sets and they've never been perfect. Be honest. Is anyone here? When there's been on, you've seen them on eBay or $4.99, you go and buy them, and they're all right. They're not perfect, but like I said, Airfix have done these from their original drawings, haven't they? Yeah. So they've got the CAD. They've not had to look at it. Was it the old blue tack method? Wasn't it? You would stick blue tack down and get the ridges, and then you would try and trace. You know what I mean? It's
never do it.
Yeah, I think but yeah, I think that's pretty much to a much as. And if you want them, they've given you the option of buying them separately. And also, it's a brand, isn't it? You're buying a brand. I think Airfix could knock £8 off a kit if they just bought crappy cheap decals to put in it, but they don't. And I think that's why sometimes the vintage classic kits are on the higher side because the price of the decal sheet that's in them. Big one, like what was the one that they did, and it was quite big. It was the Rotterdam one, wasn't it? The Rotterdam.
Yeah,
that was quite big. So it's interesting. Zinzan, they are not adding to their offering; they're adding a related separate product. Top notch, for example, are £1 less for the same scale model of aircraft.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing, is it? No.
Top notch use vinyl.
They do use vinyl, don't they?
And vinyl is an absolute pig when it comes to masking up curves.
Yeah. Unless you've used it, Julian, I don't know where you're coming from. Have you used masking sets, mate?
Would you like me to talk, Moss?
Yeah, go on then.
Because no one can class me as an Airfix fanboy, as Moz sometimes gets incorrectly stereotyped as, because I'm not. However, what Airfix are doing is, in the consumer's view, and I am a consumer, nothing more, nothing less, is they're professionalizing their offering.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing, because if you look at some of the more top-end manufacturers of aircraft, most of those manufacturers will include a mask set within their kit. Because, yes, you can do it yourself, and I do on a regular basis. In fact, I've just done it on a MiG-31 cockpit, which I'm building for Ben. But by offering a mask set, you have the choice. And they've gone to a company. Now, I do appreciate what Julian said. They don't have a proven background in producing masks. However, it's Cartograph. The business relationship between them and Airfix is solid. They all know how the other one works. They know how to deal with each other. Now, personally, I would rather spend $9.99 on a Cartograph mask set than I would buying a cheaper mask set from an established mask company, because you know that Cartograph aren't going to put their name to anything that is substandard. And that comes at a price. I can go out and buy a pair of training shoes from Nike that are going to cost me £150. Or I can go to a cheaper manufacturer, I won't name them, but I could, and buy a similar product at a third of the price. However, you'll be crippled within a month. Because they're not as good. And the reason they charge that price, yes, some of it you're paying for the name, absolutely. But the confidence that inspires in the consumer, because you know that name is good quality. The quality of the product is going to be good. Otherwise, it wouldn't have that name attached to it. So therefore, you're going to pay a premium for it. And I have no issue with that. I think Airfix have played a blinder. Hopefully not Cartograph have done the Lysander, which is not an easy aircraft to produce your first mask set for.
I think that's why they did it. I think that was the challenge.
Hopefully now, certainly in that 48 range where people are willing to spend a bit more money. Cartograph will now they know they can do it and it works and it's good quality and everything else. Hopefully now, what we will see going forwards is Airfix and Cartograph will start producing mask sets for a lot more of their kits and give people the option if they want to buy them or not. Because let's be honest, real estate storage space for mask sets is tiny. They can hold that stock quite easily. And then they're giving people the option. And I know lots of people that if they go out and buy a 48 scale Sea King, for example, they would love to be able to buy a Cartograph mask set to go with it. And some of it is brand loyalty, brand snobbery, whatever you want to call it. But I'm willing to pay for that.
Exactly.
So, consumer choice.
James Carnahan's absolutely spot on. The art scale masks are £13.60 from Hannings. They've been but they are good masks as well, though, aren't they?
Exactly. You're paying for a good quality product.
A quick question on this Airfix mask. Is it internal and external or just external?
No, it's internal and
internal as well.
Oh, there you go.
It's for both inside and out.
There you go.
Well, Julian, I just typed in masking and bang, I was straight on it. It gave you masking. When I put in the word masking, it gave you their masking tape, their masco, and it gave you the masking sheet. So maybe you spelt it wrong, but it will be. It's
don't use top notch when you're searching on Airfix, so you won't find
use top notch. I just want to frame this comment from Ben. Actually, this was a good one. Now, I'm no Airfix fanboy, as most know. I think this is an excellent offering, bearing in mind Cartograph will have the CAD data to produce these masks. I'd rather buy a mask set using original CAD data. Well, I don't think, if I'm right, and normally, I might get a message in a minute. I think when I was talking in Bovington, when I was first talking, I'm sure that Clint, their researcher, did all the measuring up and everything from the actual original imagery to do it.
But I think Ben's point, and he's absolutely spot on, is that unlike other aftermarket manufacturers, because the business relationship between Airfix and Cartograph is so strong, Airfix are able to release the required data for those sets to be spot on to Cartograph, whereas perhaps they'd be a lot more reticent to release it to other manufacturers of mass sets because of the data being released or whatever. But they don't have that issue with Cartograph because it's a proven relationship. So they know that if they're releasing, for example, let's hope they do a 48 scale tornado, they can send Cartograph the data of that kit because Cartograph are going to be producing the decals. So there's no compromise there. And at the same time, Cartograph can have the data for the mass set. And then when you buy the kit, if you want it, the mask set is available. That's perfect. It's a great relationship. Brilliant.
I've just had a message from Clint, and he said, Cartograph don't touch the CAD data. The masks are all designed in-house. Cartograph just cut the shapes into the mask and material and package them up. So there you go. So it's all done in the house with, so they don't touch all that. But that's the same with anything,
It's
all the decals are designed in house, and then they get sent over to Cartograph and printed on that magical wearing machine that does give us really good ones. So
it's the same principle, isn't it? That Cartograph and Airfix have such a good relationship. Whether they're designed in house or not, that confidence between the two manufacturers exists and has existed for a long time. So there's no issue with sending that design work to Cartograph. They're not gonna put it all over social media and say, oh, Airfix are releasing a Lysander or Airfix are releasing this or whatever. They're not going to do that, and they haven't done it. And they're a fantastic manufacturer, so what's not to like, really?
Exactly. Listen, BP, the setup costs for a masking package that is a Lysander are minimal, and the production cost pennies. £10 not including post is a rip-off, regardless of how results turn out to be. I'm going to just stand in here. Have you seen the price of Tamiya masking sheets?
Yeah.
Have you seen the price of a? Anyway, you must be one. So I'm just
the price that Airfix have decided to sell that for. Value is in the consumer, regardless of how much it costs to produce a product, etc., etc. It's what it's worth to the consumer, and how much the consumer is willing to pay for that product. So we go back to the training shoes scenario. I'm pretty sure that Nike's manufacturer has a massive margin. I'm pretty sure they have. However, the value in that training shoe is the value to me as the consumer, and that will dictate the price point that they retail it.
There's a further argument to be made there on market price as well. I don't suppose I need to go into it in any great sense, but maybe it's you pay for between £7 and 12, 13 quid. They're bang in the middle. Good-o. Market price. It's not 25 quid, which is way outside. It's in the right area.
I would pay $20 for that delivered, and so Dave just put in the thing. He thinks it's £10 plus £5 shipping. It's a great price, so that'd be about 20. That would be about $20. Absolutely, I'd pay $20 for that.
I was just going to say is that what you will probably do is buy the kit and then add the masking set along with it. Because I just said then, I hope they bring one out for the Anson, because that's why I've not built it, because there's a hell of a lot of glass on that Anson, and that's why I've not done it. So,
but
I can confirm there's a lot.
I would imagine, I'm not a business person at all. I have no knowledge of that world, but I would imagine when they're doing something new, that this is, they have to test the market. They have to test the water. Now, should it be a success and be viable as a commercial endeavor, then I think you will see many, many more mask sets. And the world's their oyster, really, because particularly if it's being designed in house, then they could do a mask set for every single kit if they chose.
Yeah.
Well, they could do mask sets for the vintage classics, couldn't they?
Yeah. There's something that's mentioned here is that this subject has been emailed in, and there's been loads of comments onto this stream for about 2 or 3 years. Why aren't Airfix doing masking sets?
Yeah,
and
that's true.
But then again,
I know it's too much money.
It's just,
you know,
I don't think it is too much money. I think it's an option, and if you want to spend that sheet, fair enough. If you don't want to spend that, buy cheaper.
Well, this is what we were talking about.
And every modeler and every consumer is different.
Yeah.
Now, for me personally, as the consumer, probably the most valuable commodity or the most valuable thing to me is time. And it's the old adage, time is money. And a lot of my life is geared around that because time is valuable. If I can buy a mask set for £10 and save myself 3 or 4 days pissing about trying to mask it myself, I'm absolutely going to do that because the trade-off of spending £10 is worth the 3 or 4 days that I get where I'm not having to do that. Whereas the other people that perhaps aren't as what's the word? I'm trying to be diplomatic. Perhaps don't have the financial resources that others do.
Yeah.
But what they do have is time. So therefore, they'll mask it themselves, and they can afford to spend an inordinate amount of time doing that and do a very good job. But for others, they don't have the time or don't want to spend the time. So they're worth, it's worth showing out a tenner. And it's all a trade-off. But you're absolutely right, John. It's a choice. You don't have to buy it. They haven't said every Lysander we know has got a mask set in it, and the price of the Lysander has gone up by £10. They haven't done that.
No, they haven't.
Which people would complain about incessantly.
Massively.
Well, this is what
I'm paying £10 when I don't want to set.
This is what I was trying to get at. It's like, I'm not. We're going to talk about Revell later on because they brought out some pictures of their new Hunter, but we've been talking about the price of that Meteor when it comes out because it will come with photo etch, it will come with masking set, it will come with 3D print stuff, and it will come with a book, and it's over £100 odd. And then you got those chunnering at how much is that going to cost? And to be honest with you, I'm one of the guys who's going to sit back and wait for that to be released as just a bog standard kit because the photo etch and all that doesn't. But to some, it's important. I get that people are saying that $4.95 for postage is a little bit expensive, but these sort of the things that you would buy the kit and then get the masking set for, or you would buy another kit and then that will be bolted on. $4.95 is a bit expensive, but then again, they've got a distribution center. Somebody's got to physically go along, pick up that bit from the shelf, put it in an envelope, print off a label, and then DPD's got to come and pick it up. So that $4.95. But see, my bog standard postage on when I sell online is £4.95 for anything under a kilogram. Or my Outlaw Paints is the same, but I do track 24. But so that's how it's. You got to look at it. And also, when you're buying this, so I bought this this is for the Wessex. I paid $7.99 plus £2.90 or $1.99 shipping to get this for me. This is for the Wessex helicopter. So it comes together like about £9 it was. £9 I think it was. But I bet that bloke hasn't got VAT and things like that added to it as well. So he's able to do it a bit cheap.
And it's a 70-second scale kit, not a 48.
It came in a bag, and it came in a bag. You know, that's it. There's like a print off instruction there, but nothing too special. So yeah, it's I don't even know what this one's for actually, but yeah, it's that's what you got to look at it from this way. So yeah. But
can I just point out to BP here? He said like the Lysander kit is $35.95. Masking set is £10, not including postage.
Yeah.
Well, that gets the you over the £40 free postage one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
At Airfix.
Problem solved.
And also, and also, there's nothing stopping them. Like, if you're a club member, just chucking them in the kit for free, like just to help out the club members. Like, let's really wage a war. Like, you know what I mean? Jadlam have got them in stock, $9.95 and free shipping. So there you go. If you don't want to buy it from the website, you can get it from Jadlam. Fair play.
Well done, Annette. Well done, Annette, for finding that out.
Is the masking set that came with the Spitfire Mark 9 with the beer barrels, was that done by Cartograph or somebody else?
I think we're going to have to agree to disagree here, BP. As I said, you look at the price of masking sets, and to be fair, that Lysander's have got a lot of glass on it for a tenner. And I know, and that they're going to work because it's Cartograph. So
exactly that.
They're going to work.
It's not like you bought a Polar Lights kit and the decals have disintegrated on you, but hey ho.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You missed my point. It's a third of the cost of the model. I'm not missing your point, mate. Any masking set of their worth is going to cost. So when I bought that, what was it I bought? I think I'll tell you, was it this? No, was it the ones? I bought a kit and it was like $19.99, and the masking set was $9.99. It's 1/72 scale, $9.99. So wherever you go, those masking sets are going to be around that price point, no matter the size.
Back to Zinsan's point of market cost.
Yeah.
And the thing is, depending on how you approach your hobby, because it's a very individual endeavor. It is very individual, and we all do it slightly differently. But any aftermarket for any kit, quite often, whether it's armor, aircraft, cars, naval, whatever the genre may be, if you're going down the aftermarket route, it's quite probable and quite common that you are going to spend way more money on aftermarket than you spent on the kit in the first place.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the point that you mentioned probably a couple of years ago now, Mars. What the kit manufacturer is doing is giving you a base, a blank canvas almost. Yeah. What you decide to do with it is your individual take on it. All six of us sat in here could be given the same kit, the same aftermarket, the same. We would all produce a different model.
Yeah.
So the aftermarket is mass sets, PE, 3D printed bits, whatever it may be. It's not unusual to spend way more than the cost of the kit on aftermarket. And if you don't want to do that, and you're happy with the base kit, and you want to spend 3 days masking the canopy of your Lysander, then you don't have to spend a tenner.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But this is what we were talking about before. It's all down to the fact that Airfix are providing you with a kit that hasn't got anything extra in it.
Yeah.
You want to spend the extra for those extras, and that's your choice.
Exactly.
But for people who don't want to spend that, Airfix they're playing a blinder, I think.
Yeah.
Massively. Yeah.
It shows progress. It shows progress.
I mean, if they produce masking sets for the likes of the B-24 or the Lancaster,
I was thinking that, James. I
really want
anything with a complicated frame. If they can produce a masking set for it, it's going to make our jobs a lot less complicated.
Or even the Blenheim or the Beaufort.
Well, the kit I was thinking of was the HE111.
Yes, that too. I forgot about that.
Some companies are releasing a to scale template, right?
Yeah.
which I always screw up because I'm nearly 60, man. My so here I am trying to with a really sharp X-Acto blade, trying to draw it out and then cut it out, but it it's a step, right? I do appreciate it. It at least gives me something other than liquid mask or something. I can give it a try. So I appreciate it when companies make some effort to do that.
Yeah.
And then there'll be other people, won't there, John, that relish masking canopies by themselves. They like it. It gives them that. It's the same with armor. There are some people that love building tracks.
Yeah.
And tracks can be a nemesis for most armor modelers. But what you can do, if you choose to, is you can go and buy aftermarket tracks, 3D printed resin tracks that are brilliant. You'll have them put together in less than an hour. Job done. Move on.
Yeah.
It's all about choice.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that. You can spend a week building tracks if you want to. And some people relish it. Some people like it.
I see a lot of the comments here, and I think the price is a red herring, as what Alex was saying. I get that, and like I said, if they put if you bought a kit, say that Lysander was like 40 odd quid, with a masking set, you would be moaning about the price of that kit because it's a Lysander, but also the fact that some of it. How expensive is the kit itself? Like Ben was saying, you get a lot of value with an Airfix kit already, and so if you want to pay an extra tenner, then so be it. Do you know what I mean? And like Jack Daniels has said quite clearly, if you buy a car for 25k, you can drive it home, or you can spend another 5k and have all the optionals extras. And I think that's what you've got to look at these things, and that's why Edard do all those different the Profi pack weekenders and whatever it is, they give you the optional extras, but you've still got to pay for those optional extras.
Absolutely.
So, most definitely. But we build our models. Hang on, this is a good one. We build our models our way. If someone wants to pay more for upgrades on the kit, then let them. It's not anyone's business if they say they're right or wrong. Yeah. I get that. But
this is the point, Moss. Airfix are giving people the choice. It doesn't matter who they are, what they want to do with their kit. That Airfix are giving them the choice.
They're giving them the choice.
Yeah, I think they're going to be producing sets for this, and I think that the average price of a masking set may even come down when the production rate ramps up.
Yeah.
They're giving people the option, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's all about the option, isn't it? What was I say? I have a block 200 148. It's got 179 windows. I really appreciate that the mass that I was hit was £14 against a £40 kit, and I'm sure I saved 10 hours of work.
Easily.
Yeah. What was that? All about options. You choose how to do your own model, what you want to spend, how much time you want to spend on a model. Exactly. Some people would be happy just to, buy a couple of quid's worth of paints and paint it up, and some of us will spend 7 or 8 quid on getting decent lacquers, So, but for me,
and £2.5 grand on airbrushes.
Yeah, exactly. I use lacquers because it speeds up the journey for me, and if you, all I can say is I'd rather Airfix spend their budget on these sorts of startup projects and product types than what they have done recently. So the start of the aftermarket, I'm very much for it.
Yeah,
I think that's the option, isn't it? I do wonder how much, I do wonder what else they've got in line. What next is coming? What
any
else?
410 masking set.
Yeah, any 410 masking set. Yeah, but like I said, and also the point really, the reason I was saying about it, do kits come in masking sets was, Airfix have said they're going to step into the game and produce masking sets with cartograph. Have you seen anybody ever complain about a company starting up doing aftermarket like we are tonight, moaning about the price? You know, no, I'm not. I'm just. Let's bring in a resin company that we use. So yeah, I'm just trying to think of a later one. Res Kit. You know, they do some phenomenal stuff, and it isn't cheap. But I've not had anybody complain about what they've done. All they've done is basically put it out there at their price, and if you buy, if you like it, you buy it, and if you don't, you won't. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
ITA3, they make ITA3 makes all these resin aftermarket for the Stalwart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
so you buy all that resin, did it come to the same price as the kit?
Probably more.
Probably more than the kit.
Yeah.
That was like, I don't know. So I bought the lot, right? And it was all through Nigel. I'm going to put out a video. He completely organized it for me. It was 3 times the kit.
Yeah.
But that's your choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's your choice. And if you want to do that and you have the ability to do it, then all power to you.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I thought, what the heck? It's got the crane.
Yeah.
You live in Florida, right, John?
I live in Maryland, north of DC.
Okay. Yeah. I'd leave those in the window for a while if I were you.
Yeah.
Oh, to get cured a little bit more?
No,
I couldn't possibly comment, but speak to Nigel.
Yeah. Comment here, the smarter move, in my honest opinion, would be to offer it as a bundled option in the vein of Edard as well. I do wonder if and how much the price will vary based on the masking required. I don't think this is. I think this is Airfix standing up saying, "Woohoo! We've got what you've been asking for. Here's the flag. Here's your masking sets. Now bugger off and leave us alone."
Certainly.
You know what I mean? I think they're showing willing that they're listening to, to the folks. And because I've always said, if you're not going to do masking sets, at least put a template in the front of the, it's halfway there, still a bugger trying to cut around a template. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then people would whinge about that.
Yeah.
They would say, well, if they can spend the time producing a template, why can't they do a masking set?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I would. Yeah. Yeah. As I said, they could bundle it in. I don't see why not.
And maybe they will.
Yeah.
Maybe they will in the future. You don't know, but this is a new endeavor for them. And regardless of the new endeavor, it doesn't really matter what it is. We're talking about masking sets specifically. But as Moz just said, what they are showing, I think, to the consumer,
it's a willingness to listen.
Yeah.
They're listening to what people are saying and what people are asking for. Yeah. And no manufacturer can just go out and do whatever people are saying. They can't do that. There has to be a process. And that's exactly what Airfix are doing. So who's to say in 12 months' time or 18 months' time that you can't buy it as a bundle?
Yeah. And that probably will happen. It'll probably will happen. Like I said, with if you're a club member, you get one shoved in for free, like, you know what I mean?
And let's not forget they did a very similar thing years and years and years and years ago with their 48 scale Herrick range.
Yeah.
Because if you wanted to, you could buy photo etch upgrade sets for all.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
And more recently they did it with the Shannon. Yes, so if you wanted to, you could buy an additional decal sheet that would allow you to build a Shannon from your local town or your local. Yeah. So this isn't new that they're doing this stuff. It's just they've not done mass sets before.
But they've done it before with the Shannon. You can buy it as a bundle.
Yeah.
You can buy it as a bundle.
I did.
So, and this is what will happen. You can buy it as a bundle, so...
Yeah. So what's to say that won't happen with this? You don't know.
Yeah.
But now they know they can do it. It's almost like proof of concept, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Now we know we can do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it more often.
Well,
but first of all, we need to see if it works and if there's a market for it.
Be interested to see what happens at Telford this year with Airfix.
The mask sets are pre-cut. Yeah, they're all pre-cut because that was the thing about the Tamiya kits, weren't they? You had to cut them out, didn't you?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a raw pain in the ass.
I cut out the mask set for the Sturmovik.
I've got so many bits of paper here. Which one's which? I'm just looking now. Which one is the actual mask set? That's a problem. I've got so many bits of mask set out. Just looking at it.
Don't lose it.
So that's it. But I've put to the camera before. So if you've just joined us, they are pre-cut. You can see the pre-cut there.
Yeah.
So they're spot on, and they're very well, and the instructions are very, very well laid out. So if you got X24 on the glass, there you go. You put them bits on there, all numbered up, ready to go. To be fair, and I like the packaging. To be honest, it tells you exactly what is. It's got its own A0 code, so it tells you which Lysander it's for, A07115. Is that right? 115. Yeah. So exactly what it is, and I suppose that you'll probably find that over time, when they do this, you will see bits that aren't used because they're for a future release. You know what I mean on them, like you do on the plastic. So the biggest thing will be if we get masks with newer kits slowly going forward, that will show Airfix's true intentions. They've always had true intentions going forward, though.
Yeah.
For my take on it, and I know, people kind of headbutt me for it, but all I've ever seen is a progression. You see the odd slip when it happens, and it is kind of sad when that happens. But 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say 99% of the time, it's not necessarily Airfix as a company. They're doing the right thing.
Yeah,
it's the third parties that are involved. So yeah, it's definitely one of them.
Well,
You've just got to let them do. And if they've gone to Cartograph, and I said I don't know the reasons, and I say that I don't know the reasons why they haven't teamed up with Edard or ASK. They've gone with Cartograph because. Well, I feel that it's a partnership that's been going now for at least 15 years because I did the video, didn't I? 2010 is when they started using Cartograph.
I think it has something to do with Cartograph and Airfix talk the same language.
Yeah, exactly. They do talk the same language.
It's a mini triumph.
It is.
Yeah.
I think there's clear intention, and also it's the option there of also I do wonder, does anybody go on a model, any sort of modeling site, and just buy one item?
Nope.
No. Be honest. When if I go on the Airfix site and there's a deal on, I always do that little bit more to get the postage free. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you've got to make it work for you, you know. Well, and you've got to understand that, like you said, Miles, that it's not like you or I posting something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there is a logistics chain that is involved in that particular order. Well, that's not free. Somebody somewhere needs to get paid. So that's why you incur the postage costs you incur. So the way around that is, if you're ordering from a particular website or what have you, then make the most of your postage or order enough to make sure you qualify for free postage.
Yeah.
Then you alleviate that issue,
There's also a video by them. Casey, Gary Stuff's channel showed a pic. Where's that too? I lost it now. Oh, there you go. Gary's channel showed a pic after painting. It wasn't not too hot, actually. It may have been down to user error. Probably. Have you watched the videos on this? Because Airfix have got a video out. They look brilliant. If you see the before and after shots, they are pucker. As I said, I've dragged my Lysander out to go and use the masking set now. But
I think you've always got to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
When watching any build type videos where you will form an opinion on a particular kit, product, paint, whatever it may be, from what you're seeing on the video, because every single one of us is fallible.
Yeah.
And I make more mistakes on every single build than I get right.
Yeah.
Every single build. So if I'm videoing that and people are watching it, and they might say, "Oh well, it looked like the kit was dodgy." It's 99% of the time it's user error.
Yeah.
It is, because and I'm not having a go at Gary at all, but give that mask set to Scale Model Hanger, or give that mask set to a world-renowned, award-winning aircraft builder, would they have the same issue? Probably not. The same as you could give me a Tsukimura kit, and I would probably encounter some problems along the way, but give that Tsukimura kit to Plasmo, he probably wouldn't encounter the same issues.
Exactly.
It's the nature of it. You know?
I'm just going to jump in here and sorry, Adam. The way it came across, I thought that you were meaning that the intention, but yeah, they are pushing the aftermarket range. Well, I'll say pushing. I think it's more about looking at the options that they could have. I don't think you will see these masking sets in a starter set. Why should we give them the pleasure of learning how to do it the frigging hard way? Do you know what I mean? Give it a little bit tougher for them. Let them understand. I don't think you'll see masking sets in a starter set. No chance.
No. But why would you? Why would you? Why would Airfix do that? Because most people that would buy a masking set, or I think Hugh Gordon said,
it wasn't Gary's working show. I understand the way it was written. I thought you meant that Gary had used them and made a mistake with them. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
But what someone has said, I think it was Hugh, or it might be Casey actually. Sorry, in the chat, that they use a silhouette cutters to create their own masking.
Yeah.
Set. What Airfix are doing, they're not aiming at the starter market.
No.
When they're starting to produce mass sets, and that's not who they're aiming that at. Who they are aiming it at is perhaps the more, I use the word carefully, the more discerning modeler who is willing to spend the money and is willing to get a premium product to produce a premium result at the end. They're not aiming it at 8-year-old Johnny who's at Riat and Dad's going to buy him an Airfix Arrows, Red Arrows Hawk starter set.
Yeah.
That's not who they're aiming it at.
Yeah.
And Airfix has been criticised for many, many, many years about not catering to the more experienced
modelers. Yeah, exactly.
They've received so much flack, despite the fact that a lot of their recent releases are of such good quality that the more experienced modeler enjoys those builds.
Yeah.
But they've been criticised for years and years and years, and almost been categorised as a bit toy-like.
Yeah.
In what they produce. Well, when you start doing things like producing mass sets for good quality kits, no one can continue accusing you of being a toy manufacturer. They just can't do it.
Well, yeah, it's like that. Like they basically accused Airfix of being toy-like when they're producing a Stolly.
Yeah.
So.
But when you spray up that clear part of the back, you can't tell. I know somebody's drilled out every single hole, and it looks fantastic with that plastic.
But again, that's the modeler's choice.
Yeah.
If they decide to spend the time drilling the air holes and everything else, how many times do you see, and you'll see it a lot on armor in particular, where people don't drill out the barrels?
Yeah, exactly.
Russ, I suspect he's driving his Fiat down the pub.
Yeah.
Or, correction, pushing it back from the pub.
But ultimately, it's the modeler's choice as to whether they spend the time. Do they have the know-how? Do they have the correct tools? Do they have all of this stuff, which isn't cheap?
Right.
To be able to drill out a 48 scale machine gun barrel. That's not, you need some fairly specialist tools to do that and do it well.
Yeah.
So not everyone's going to do it. It doesn't really matter. You can paint the end black from 3 feet away. It looks like a hole. Who cares? But there are modelers out there like me, who's a tool tart. And I will quite happily, and have done, I have them on my bench here, spend £120-ish on tools that allow me to drill the barrel of a 48 scale machine gun that no one can see from more than 6 inches away. No one cares, but I care. So
you know, that's good enough. You know,
it's my hobby, the same as it's everyone's hobby.
Yeah,
and you will tailor your hobby to your own needs.
I learned a valuable lesson. That I was at a model show and I put my American rig in the scale model competition and it didn't place. And somebody who was judging on another thing came up and said, "Oh, you didn't place them, Oz?" I said, "No, I didn't place with this one." He goes, "I know the reason why." The guy looked at your exhaust and walked away. He said they weren't, because I didn't drill out the exhaust. So I just left them with that little divot in and just painted it black. But the guy in the scale model competition, he looked around and the first thing he did was look at on all the cars and the lorries that were there. He was looking at the exhaust. That was his first thing. And anything that didn't have a drilled out exhaust was put to one side.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I learned a big lesson that day. So now I do it.
But if you look at it, if you're putting something into a competition to be judged by other people, then little things like drilling out barrels, drilling out exhausts, etc., that matters at that point, because that is a very easy way. We hear it all the time where people or judges don't recognize effort and they don't recognize X, Y, Z. Well, that's a real easy way for a judge straight away with very minimal time and effort to start rewarding effort. Very easy. But if you're only building it for yourself and it's not going to be judged by anyone, then does it really matter? If you're happy with it, does it really matter? If it's going to go on your shelf in your house and you like looking at it and you're happy with what you've done, that's it. But the moment you step into the competition arena, you better make sure, pounds a pinch of shit, that you've drilled those barrels on.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be the first thing that they say.
God, I tell you what, Airfix released masking sets, and now Adam's here asking if they will do 3D decals. Bloody hell, crumbs. I don't think Aircraft do 3D decals, do they?
No, not yet. They don't.
Oh, yeah, they don't. But here we go. Airfix, if you're on the call there, you know what I mean? They can have a kidney, apparently. If they started doing that, they can have a kidney. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a classic example, right? Yeah. So I was searching. So Zvezda, wash my mouth out with soap and water, produce a 48 scale Hind. And the variant they produce is called the P. It's the Hind P, which is a later version of the Hind helicopter. Yeah. And that was purchased back in the early 2000s en masse by the Hungarian Air Force.
Yeah.
But the only people that produce, or two manufacturers that produce a 3D decal set for the kit, for the P variant, because the cockpit's different, for the P variant were Quinta Studios and Red Fox.
Yeah.
But they're rare as rocking horse shit. Right? So the kit itself, which is a 48 scale helicopter gunship, so it's not a small kit. I think I paid like £48 delivered for the kit. For the 3D printed decal set for the cockpit, I could only find one for sale, and it was from some obscure model shop in Greece. Right, that was selling it. So I had to pay £54 for the set.
What?
And then I had to pay £16 in postage.
You are joking.
But it'll look good when it's done.
It would look, but you won't be able to see it because
the Hind's got quite a lot of glass.
There's quite a lot.
It was the only game in town. So what Adam's saying is absolutely right.
Yeah.
You know, if you know it's a good manufacturer and you know you want it and you know you're going to do it, and if you want it, you'll spend the money. And like you said, take a kidney.
Definitely. Wow, there you go. Spend a kidney, live a lot, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's, like I said, I've always said that going back to the website, you know, how many people go onto a website, just buy one thing and bugger off? We don't. Listen,
we'll look around.
It's basically a model shop. It's like one continuous middle aisle of Lidl or Aldi. You go in for a pint of milk and you come out with a scrubber for your back. You know what I mean? Or a DVD player, like the old days.
A couple of weekends ago, on that note, a couple of weekends ago, I stayed at Adam Challenger's house because we were doing the Medway show, and he lives not far, or a lot closer than I do. So I stayed at his house on the Friday. So I arrived around sort of late afternoon time. And about 6:30, I'm looking in his garden. Now, Adam lives in a very nice house. And I'm looking in his garden, and there's this thing like moving across the lawn.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a robotic lawnmower that he controls via an app. So he went into Aldi a year ago, like you say, for some like bread and milk, came out with this robotic lawnmower that cost hundreds and hundreds of pounds that was in the middle aisle. But what he has done, he's I was going to swear, he's made an error because you have to put like a wire submerged into the ground. When the robotic lawnmower gets to the point, it turns around and goes back. So it doesn't go where but he's put it in the wrong place. So actually, around the edge of his lawn, there's like a big thick bit, and the lawnmower goes like 6 inches in because he's got to reposition the wire. Hilarious.
He should have got Cartograph to do him a masking set where to put the wire, like
the lawn set, lawn set.
Like, you got the nicest trim.
He made it with bread and milk and came out with a robotic lawnmower.
Does it put stripes in his lawn?
Say that again.
Does it put stripes in his lawn?
It won't do that unless you run the wire in a certain way. But I have to say, I was fascinated. I was impressed. And this thing docks itself in a charging station. So it's 6:30 every evening and comes out and trims to a certain. Like, it's amazing.
There's a cricket club we played in Devon, and they had 2 of them on their outfield because no one goes there during the week. And this thing comes, these pair of things come out. They're in the middle of a village. And, if anybody knows Old English, Sutre Word is where it is. I won't say exactly where, but these things apparently come out on a Tuesday night and a Thursday night, and there's buzz around the place, and it doesn't matter whether there's dogs or anything there. They just carry on.
Amazing. Amazing.
It's a good bit of kit. I've seen them. We haven't got grass.
Don't lie down on the lawn then, Luke.
No. When
I
he
know.
did, look at his head now, like, you know what I mean?
It won't stop.
And then John was there as well. He got caught with it, didn't you, John? But yeah, as I said, you know, this is just a start. Also, like, I've got I bought at Bovington a Zvezda kit, a feeling, but the guy told me that he's had it for years and years, so before the war. So, and there's a, you know, you can't, you know, spite your nose to cut your nose to spite your face, I should say. So I bought it, and then I thought, but it's that digital sort of like scheme on the top, like a digital one,
right?
And I thought I'd get a masking set for that, but they're £32 for the masking set, you know. But what was the one you did with the masking set? It was that Lightning, wasn't it?
F35C,
how much was that?
It's in the weathering stages, but the kit I think was 40 quid because it's a 77 version.
How much was the masking set?
The masking set was 28 quid or something.
There you go. You know?
Yeah. But that's for the whole aircraft, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So you expect
as far as I'm concerned, it was 28 quid well spent.
Yeah.
Because that would have been an absolute laborious task to mask that aircraft.
Yeah.
Because I can remember a couple of weeks ago, Moss, you mentioned that the starter set for the F-35 Lightning was the easiest kit to paint in the world.
There's the underneath of it.
Yeah.
But if you look at photographs of most of the stealth fighters,
it's a bit shiny at the minute because it's in the weathering stage. But to try and mask all this yourself would be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
The masking set makes it fairly easy. And if people say that the F4 is the king of stencils, they'd be right. But the F-35 is the king of masking. As far as modeling goes, definitely.
Oh, right.
Yeah, any Japanese air defense forces sort of, it's any of their aircraft tend to be the king of stencils.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Just the way it is. Yes, it is, Ron. It is the F-35.
I did one of those F-15s, and it was stencils.
Yeah. Stencil City, Joffrey, you're right. There's 3 starter sets that I've claimed are the top 3 for me for ease.
Yeah.
The F-35 Lightning is up there as number 3 of easy kits. But the top one for me, if you're going to give somebody a kit that they've never ever built one before, would be the Tiger One. That's the most easiest.
Definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
My mate's building his first kit he's ever built, and it's an Airfix Tiger One.
But then again, I've just given a lad called Luke Sampson on his channel. He does die-cast restoration. I sent him up a Jaguar. He's called Scaled Customs. He's a sprayer. That's what he does. He sprays up cars.
Yeah,
but he's done a phenomenal job, and he built that Jag in 4 hours and sprayed it up and everything. But built it in 4 hours, but then sprayed it up. But he's done such a good job on it, and it's like red as well, like metallic red. He's done it as beautiful job on that. But he said, it was easy to put that Jaguar together.
Nice.
But, the only thing that I would say, the problem with the cars with starter sets is the fact that you've got quite a complex scheme, like the Bugatti. You've got that red, black, and silver, haven't you? And you've got
one of those.
Yeah, that's it.
Literally an Airfix one. Because newsflash, spoiler alert, whatever you want to call it, next year, starting on the 1st of January, one of the group builds that we're going to be running on Black Rifle is an Airfix starter set stroke gift set stroke vintage classic group build.
Yeah.
So as long as it's one of those 3, it counts. And I want to do that Bugatti, so I just bought that. So I'm glad you've said it's very complex. I look forward to
just for somebody who's never built a kit before, I think it's.
I think I've built 3 cars, so I'll struggle.
Yeah.
Especially spatial launch systems, because they're gift sets, aren't they?
Yeah. But I am going to have to disagree with BP in the chat.
Yeah.
He's saying masking sets for painting and sets for canopies are worlds apart. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Because, for example, in that F-35 kit that I've just shown, the masking set includes the canopy set and the actual airframe. It's the same. It's the same tape. It's the same production. And mask sets for painting. What do you do with the canopy? You paint it.
Yeah.
So they're no different. They're no different.
I don't know my Bugatti. I was going to get it down, but I must have put it somewhere. It must be around here somewhere. I've got so many fucking kits now. It's unbelievable. Black Scum works. No, put it on your shelf for Doom. Just treat it. It's basically it's Tamiya tape. The sheet. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. You'll be absolutely fine. It won't wreck the glass. But to be fair, it's one of the last jobs you do on a kit anyway, isn't it? With the canopy, once you've built it all and everything, and you start doing the paint job, you either can put the canopy on, mask it up, and then spray the whole thing, or a lot of people what they do now is do the canopy separate because you're doing inside and outside. You see, so you spray it. Yeah, so I wouldn't worry too much about it.
And it all depends as well whether you're having an open or closed canopy.
Yeah.
BP saying in terms of costs, I don't know.
No, I agree.
Don't know. I'll leave that. But as I said, I If you look on Temu, you can get a mask set on there for £10 for a Tiger One tank now, can't you? You know, some of it, yeah.
I can't get a masking set here for delivered for like under $15.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And in response to Black Skunk Works as well, it depends on the quality of the masking set.
Yeah.
If you've got a good quality masking set, you could absolutely leave that on canopies and glass parts and stuff for as long as it will stay there, really. Just be aware, ambient temperature, where that model is being stored. If it's stored in a particularly warm environment, then you're likely to get the masking set start to peel because it loses its adhesive properties over time with heat. But other than that, certainly in the UK, we don't suffer any of those sort of extremes of temperature. Maybe somewhere like where John lives, where it's hot, then that may be an issue. But I've never, ever had a problem that it's damaged or left residue on clear parts or anything like that. And that is down to the quality of the masking set.
Yeah.
Now, you do tend to find it with the liquid mask, unfortunately, with if you're using lacquer paints.
North Devonmore Society, as I use a brush, I paint the canopy before I put the wings on. Fair enough. It's one of them. I know a lot of people who spray everything, then brush paint the canopy. I know one person who's a bit of a vintage classic fanboy. He won't paint the outside of the canopy, but he'll mask up all the inside of it because it's like very thin. So he'd rather mask up the inside of it and then spray on the inside, and then that shows through to the outside. So I've seen that done before. But I will be in touch with you, North Devon, because I want to get you on Airfix and Chill. There's a couple of people I'm looking at to add to the panel here. But I will be in touch with you again. I did email a Clive modelling channel as well. I want to pop him on as well, have a chat and everything. So, Alan McDoyle, I had my set on for about 2 weeks with no issue. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. One little tip: if you are masking up something on top of paint, I always put it on the back of my hand first if I lay it on top of paint.
Yeah.
But on glass, it's not a problem. But if you were masking on top of paint, you can get a little bit of peel off. So just rub it onto your hand slightly, and that's pretty good. So
just to add a little bit to what Luke said. I've got a masked up Corsair canopy here. This is the sliding part of the canopy, and you can just see here up into there where this mask has started to just drift away a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is after about 3 or 4 months. I haven't done anything with this, and I've been very bloody lazy, but there we are. But if you just press it down, away it goes. It's absolutely fine. But it's something to be aware of, because all this mask material, this kabuki paper type stuff, it all lifts after a time, but you certainly don't get any residue from it, like Moss and Luke said.
But if you do get residue, WD-40, isn't it? Oh, your Jack's put it up here as well. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good shout, actually.
WD-40 gets rid of any stickiness.
I use
WD-40 apparently gets rid of pigeons, so it doesn't work.
We've covered this, Daniel. It's basically it's up to the buyer, isn't it? They've done them separate. In the future they may bundle them in. But obviously, these extra things add price to the kit, and they'd rather keep a price point on their series. That's what it's all about, is price point. So, and these kit, it is what it is. But I think it's a relatively good price for them anyway. So,
I just bought one as the live was going on here now, and it will come through in 3 or 4 days' time, and. Just a little bit of a callback to 1 or 2 of the people. I may do a little review of it, and I may zero in on it. So there you go. That will help you guys out there.
Yeah. I think in hindsight's a wonderful thing. That it'd been lovely if they'd done the masking sets when the likes of the Bolton Paul Defiant came out.
Yeah,
or the Bristol Blenheim 4.
Yeah.
because that's got a lot of masking on it.
Yeah. I know you're trying to clarify yourself, but I just don't. Yeah, I understand, mate. But it's still, you're paying 30 quid to do the camo masking, and canopy masking's different, So yeah, we understand where you're coming from, mate. I mask my turrets and my canopy on my aircraft, then I brush paint them. Yeah, a lot of people do that. Yeah. I know somebody who gets what's it called, tape? Okay, what it's called now, but he does it square, so he'll spray it and he'll lay it on in lines and spray it on or paint it on, then because he uses the edge of this tape to get on the lines of the canopy. So there's no techniques out there.
Talking about B24s,
yeah,
because Scale Model Ninja has got 3 1/32 scale B24s that he's built.
Yeah.
Now he didn't mask one canopy up on that. He just painted it and then used a cocktail stick to clean the canopy up.
Wow.
And they look absolutely stunning.
I know people who use like a bit of sprue just to rub off the paint and stuff like that. It's not the best. You have a steady hand to do it. But,
I actually did that when I did my Blenheim.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's all in night fighter black. So yeah, but it's a challenge.
Wow, you do that, do you, Peter? Crumbs.
Yeah, it's a good shout, that though.
Yeah.
Because if you are, I know several sort of die-hard aircraft builders, and it's almost sacrilege for them to use clear plastic for the canopy, because they're going for that scale effect of the thickness of the canopy.
Yeah.
And they all use vac-form canopies.
I've got a vac-form canopy to replace a canopy. I looked at it and I put it back in its box. It's up in the attic.
Yeah.
There are, in terms of scale thickness for things, particularly like canopies, there are techniques that you can use which are optically possible to use quite thick plastic and then just thin it off at the end to make it look like a blade. I did this on the auxiliary air intakes of the TSR2, and you can use quite thick plastic, but when you look at the ends, it looks scale thickness, and it's much simpler. So you could easily do that with a canopy if you were minded to. It would be tricky. In here I'm saying it's easy and then tricky, but you could thin this stuff off and make it look much more convincing, I think. But, vac form canopies, the very devil, I'm afraid. Difficult.
To a lot of us, yeah. I would never go anywhere near one. But I'm not a die-hard aircraft builder as such. The same as there are people that would never touch a full track on a piece of armor because of the headache that it's going to create. So yeah, again, it's choice. It's personal choice.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to do a poll now. Right, should Airfix charge £8 more for a kit that has a masking set in it? Okay.
Yes.
Start the poll. So let's have a look, shall we? See how it goes. Would you pay £8 more? And I think that is the standard. I'm just trying to look at Edard kits and the price between Profi Pack and Weekenders and their, it's roughly 10 to 15 quid each time, isn't it? So
better late than never, Matt. Thank you for turning up.
Oh, Matt's in, is he? Oh, Matt. Yeah. He's probably busy filming another build. I have shaved canopies open. I have shaved canopies open before. Shaved fender edges on armor and vehicles is fairly standard for me. Crumbs.
Yep. Yeah. And that's a good point on fender edges.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what you're talking about, Zinzan, where you create almost that optical illusion of thickness. And you do that quite often on armor builds, or if you choose to, you can go down the aftermarket route and buy photo etch fenders and that sort of stuff. So again, it's all choice. How much time and effort do you want to put into shaving the fenders, or do you want to go down the PE route or 3D printed or whatever? Yeah, but you can do it. I've done that before on fenders.
James, sorry, I'm just jumping in quickly. James, I watched the video, and he clearly shows the canopy, black inside, green on the outside. So they are definitely that this canopy set is for inside and outside.
Yeah.
You've got closed and open here on the sheet.
Well, the thing is, with a canopy,
Closed and open.
it depends how it's made. It's very. I think most of them they painted the internal colour and then they painted black on the outside. I think.
Is that what they've done? Is it?
Yeah. So on the, I know on.
I thought you'd done it on the inside as well.
Yeah.
The inside of an aircraft frame.
Oh, he sprayed the interior green first and sprayed black over the top. I thought they were internal and external ones.
No, is it part of that set if you're having an open or closed canopy rather than internal and external?
Oh, is it what it is it? Well, my bad then.
Maybe.
I'm sure somebody said it was.
People get confused just because people think with obviously with bomber turrets, i.e. Lancasters are a minefield.
Wait a minute. Well, it's saying open and closed. They look exactly the same.
Yeah.
One looks like inside, one looks like outside. So you tell me.
The ones inside will be smaller than the ones on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just
This
looking
is where
now.
we need Nigel to explain it to us.
Yeah.
Peter's explained it perfectly in the chat.
Yeah.
Green inside and black outside, but that is achieved or done by masking the outside and then spraying the green first.
Right, okay. That's my
because then when you look at the canopy from the inside, it's green.
Yeah. That's what I tend to do. Is if I mask up, say I did my Avro Anson. So I did it the same color as the interior. I did it, masked it up, and I did it interior green.
Yeah.
And I did it black, and then I did it silver.
My bad then.
Yeah.
Well, I just saw open and close. I thought that was what it meant.
Mm.
My bad.
If you look at photographs of aircraft from the inside, the frame for the canopy should be the same as the inside of the aircraft.
Well, that's interesting.
Virtually every picture I've ever seen of an interior of an aircraft, it's the same color.
Okay. My bad then. I just saw X12, X13, X14, X15. Yeah, I understand now. Yeah. So my bad. I totally hoodwinked me that one. Yeah. I see that. I understand now. I just saw it said open and close. I was just assuming that they. Right. Okay. My bad. I thought it was internal as well. I'm just looking at the instructions now. I see now what they've done here. Yeah. All right. My bad. Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that. Yeah. That's how you do it. Yeah. Spray interior green, then color over the top.
Yeah.
So that's my mistake. So beat my bottom with that one. I love it all. I was reading it the wrong way. That's all. But anyways, whoops. I'm going to keep that to one side. Right. What we got? 9:20. I think it's something that's been done to death. Going by the post so far, should Airfix charge £8 more for a kit? There's a masking setting, depending on the kit, obviously, but on a rough charge. 71% is willing to pay £8 more, and 29% say no. So that's 3/4 of it. So yeah.
Especially if there's two offerings, right?
Yeah.
There's one without and one with.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah.
But I don't think they would do that though. They'd either go all in or they wouldn't.
Oh, I still buy the one with. Yeah.
The trouble is that Airfix have a pricing structure going by the series number. That's why there's a big gap between like Series 11 and Series 12 on pricing. Because legacy-wise, they say, we're going to not put an extra 5% on every kit. Well, 5% on £10 isn't 5% on 30 quid, if you know what I mean. So over time, the gaps have got quite big. So, yeah. Fair enough. Right. No way they should be calling the interior closed. well, I'll just Well, as I said, I watched the video and I just assumed that they'd sprayed on the inside and the outside. So that's my bad. I totally misunderstood what they were doing there. Then I think I was in the car coming back from shopping, not driving, obviously, but I was watching it then.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, I just want to quickly pop on because Revell have sent out pictures of their new Hawker Hunter in 1/32 scale. Whoops, I've got the wrong slide. Let's go back. So they basically sent test shots, really, or test shots, but like their design of this new Hawker in 1/32 scale. It looks really sweet, to be honest. That's the cockpit there with all the detail on the inside. Beautiful, beautiful kit.
Yeah,
no prices yet have been announced on this one. But it's been delayed until 2026. That will be around to about September time, 2026. But they've done all the design work, and now the tooling is now being made. So there'll be like about 5 or 6 test shots, won't there, before they finally release it.
Yeah,
but it does look like a lovely looking kit, to be honest.
I think they need to do the nose, so they do the Harrier nose on it.
You reckon?
Yeah. 2-seater with the Harrier nose.
Yeah. Wish I could get this bigger, but I can't, I'm afraid.
Which version is it again, Moss? Is it the T7?
It is. Let me get the email back up again. That one there is what I need, yeah. Let me type it in. I just had it here a minute ago. I had it right on my screen, and I just binned it for that. So, Luke Revell, wouldn't it? Yeah. Just check the email. It is the T7 and T7A.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, is that your trainer?
It's the conversion trainer, yeah.
Okay.
It's the one that
side by side.
Yeah, they were taught how to drop weapons and how to fly the Hunter, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. T7, T8 Royal Navy, you're saying here. All the time saying. So.
Yeah, the T8 was a Navy land-based version.
Yeah.
You said it was 1/48 scale?
Yeah.
1/32 scale, this will be.
1/32.
It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that big.
No.
The Hunter's not a big aircraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a very pretty aircraft.
Yeah.
In my opinion, but
yeah, they've had to delay it till next year now.
Yeah.
I'm presuming the one that will come out will be the Meteor at Telford, won't it?
Yeah.
And their rocket as well, their SLS Artemis, I'm gathering. But Luke sent me the pictures along, and I said I'll share them tonight. Anybody interested in this in the chat? Anybody interested in a Hawker Hunter in 1/32 scale?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll build one.
What do you reckon Airfix releasing one in 1/24? Will that be a goer?
Certainly.
It wouldn't be a difficult kit for them to tool.
No.
Because there's a lot of markings they can put on the Hunter.
Yeah. See, my cynicalness in all this, right? So Luke leaves Revell, and all of a sudden there's an SLS Artemis in the Revell offering. Okay, I'm assuming that Airfix are going to release a 1/24 Hawker Hunter. And Luke's gone and got Revell to do a 1/32 one instead. There's a conspiracy theorem here, like, you know. I don't know. I can see Airfix releasing a Hunter in 1/24 scale.
Is the Hunter a subject that people actually are interested in?
Exactly that, John. Exactly. Does it have a massive deal?
Yeah, a subject that keeps coming up to me is a tornado.
It's quite possible.
But I also think Airfix might retool the Hawk, because the 48th Hawk they've got in their range is 30 years old.
I think if they're going to commit to, certainly at 1/24 scale, if you look at their previous releases, they have mass appeal. The Spit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everyone loves it. The Hellcat has a massive appeal.
Yeah.
Didn't sell that well though.
Well, it might not have, but I've got one.
I'm just saying, be honest. How many times have they reboxed that Spitfire, that 124th? We're on our third edition now.
Yeah, and I'm
Really
guessing it's still
Hellcat
selling.
ones.
I'm guessing it's still selling though, the Spitfire.
Yeah.
I'd
So
buy it. Yeah.
that is testament to if they're going to invest in a 124 scale brand new tool, maybe the Hellcat wasn't the same mass appeal as the Spitfire.
No.
Yeah.
And if they did a Meteor, you'd probably encounter similar, if not worse, issues. There'd be lots of people that would like one, but is it commercially viable for them as a manufacturer?
Yeah.
Is it a big enough appeal? Whereas the Spitfire, all day long, you can sell that till the cows come home. The Hellcat, maybe not. Even though I think the Hellcat has much more of an appeal than a Meteor would.
We'd have to make a lot of guesses there, wouldn't we, on that? Because we don't know how well the 148th Hunters went. If they went really well, then you can make a call from that and say, okay, maybe a proportion of those people have made. I'd make a 124th Hunter just for the adventure of it, because it's going to be about 15 foot long.
The endeavor of it all.
It's like everything, isn't it? You know, it's like, how many times have Airfix released that Mosquito in 124th? Once.
Yeah, because it won't have the same appeal as the Spitfire, would it?
No.
Wouldn't it be interesting not that we'll ever be privy to that information, but if they were gonna do a 124th Hunter, for example, brand new tool, brand new project for them, and how much they would, make in profit from the sale of that once it was complete and hit the market, or would it be comparable to spend the same sort of investment on a 48 scale Hawk, new tooled, and a 48 scale Tornado, new tooled?
Yeah.
And what would the profit they would make off those two kits be in comparison to a 124 scale Hunter?
Yeah.
It might even be cheaper for them to tool those two kits than what it would be 24 scale Hunter.
Yeah.
And a Hawk.
When was the last time Airfix tooled a Hurricane in 148? 10 years ago, wasn't it? They released it again, haven't they?
About 10 years ago, yeah.
10 years ago.
And then they re-released it as a Sea Hurricane, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much. I can say, and I'm not really an aircraft guy, but if they released a new tool 48 scale Tornado and a new tool 48 scale Hawk, either of those, then take my money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's go.
The Hawk and the Tornado, there's so many variants, there's so many marking options. Like, that's got some legs.
Yeah, that's
right.
I mean, if you build the nose section separate, like they'd have with the Jaguar, you can build an F3 out of the Tornado as well.
Yep. They can do the air defense variant. They can do foreign nation variants. They can do the GR1, the GR4. There's so many that they could do, and all the squadrons.
Well, interestingly enough, if they tooled the Hawk in 148 or 124 scale, because it's a small aircraft.
Small aircraft, yeah. And I would buy the Hawk in 24 scale, definitely.
Yeah,
I would as well.
Because obviously, I'm not saying anything, but you've got National Geographic Channel doing a new Top Gun series, and that features Hawk, which is based on is a navalized Hawk.
Yeah. The P-51 Mustang will sell all day, every day. But
yeah.
Especially here in the States.
But they thought the Hellcat would. Didn't quite work, did it?
Yeah.
Well, there is another propellered aircraft they've never released in 24th that I think could do well in both the States and here.
The Bearcat. Keep telling you, the bloody Bearcat.
No, the P-40.
P-40, yeah.
Warhawk.
Yes, that would sell well in South Africa. P40,
and it would sell well in Australia.
Yeah.
Or if they did the adversary to the Spitfire, do a 109.
Do a 109, yeah.
That was all day long.
Yeah.
It's a staple of the hobby, isn't it? The 109.
Yeah.
And I would buy that in 24 scale.
Yeah.
Definitely. Even though I'm not an aircraft guy. But I do have 24 scale aircraft kits. I'm not an aircraft guy.
And it still wouldn't be that big. It would not be.
No, the 109 is smaller than the Spitfire.
Right. Yes.
So so you said the Hawk, didn't you? You said the Hawk.
Me, I think the Hawk.
John mentioned it, and I said that
it would be a cracker in 48 because they need to retool that. It's 30-year-old.
Retooled Hawk in 48 or bigger.
Yeah,
would sell all, and there's so much they could do with it.
The Revell one is older than that, and they sell them day in, day out, don't they? Especially the 132nd scale one.
Yeah, but that 32nd scale one is terrible.
And it's not even a good kit.
No. Yeah. Like their 32nd scale Hunter, the old tool Hunter, that's not very good either.
No.
Or as
and the Eurofighter. Revell's Eurofighter in 48th and 32nd. That sells really well, and it's durable.
As I said, I sort of said to the Airfix should do either 124th P38 Lightning, or they should do the English Electric Lightning in 124th scale.
That'd be massive, though, wouldn't it?
That would be
the Lightning, the 124th scale Lightning.
Yeah. Lightning in 24th, Christ.
That would be so long.
It wasn't much smaller than a Tornado, the Lightning.
Yeah.
I mean, I've built one. I've got another one to do in 48, the Airfix one, which is lovely. It's a lovely kit. And even the 48th one was almost a foot long.
Yeah.
So 24.
What about the P38 here, Lightning?
No, the electric.
English Electric.
Yeah.
That's not a small aircraft by any stretch.
I don't know. I just think, they've done the Mosquito, and that was a big bit of kit, and they've never really re-released that again. But I think that the P38 Lightning, Lockheed Lightning, would be a good.
Could you imagine trying to get that to sit on its nose wheel? 24th.
That'd definitely be a tail.
Well, no, you'd have to have sort of tungsten ball bearings in the nose.
You need a
solid gold nose wheel, leg and wheels.
You'd need a neutron star in the nose, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and you'd need all the guns and the nose bay to be made of metal.
Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, but I would buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lee's got a valid point in the chat. The Hawk is probably as iconic as the Spitfire because of the red arrows.
Yeah.
Because of the red arrows, yeah.
Yeah, that alone will sell models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
124 red arrows.
Yeah. And then they've got the option to rebox it a couple of years later and do it as a trainer, do it in the black.
Yeah.
With all the training squadron markings on it. They can do foreign Air Force markings. Yeah. They can do weapons on it. There's so much they could do with it.
Yeah,
they've got a different wing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could produce the 127 model for Australian Air Force.
And Emma's got a valid point. If people are talking about a 24th 109, you could also, or instead of, do a 24 scale 190. It would be just as popular.
Well, the thing is, they did a 24 scale 190, and that's a gorgeous kit. Even though it's ancient, it's actually really nice. 190A5, I think.
Butcher bird.
At the moment, the only one they've retooled is the Spitfire, isn't it?
Yeah.
The 124th.
Yeah.
Which was a magnificent kit. Oh my God. I enjoyed that 124th Mark 9C. I enjoyed that so much. That was,
It's a good kit.
Do you think if they built a 24 scale Hunter, would they have to have the engine accessible?
Well, they would do on the 24th because that's the beauty of Airfix kit. And I think that's the thing. When you jump from 132nd scale to 124th, you've got to have an engine.
Well,
the engine, hasn't it?
The problem with the Hunter is that all the odd numbered variants had the Sapphire engine in it, and all the even number versions had the Avon. So that's two completely different tools, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the same with the Hurricane, though, isn't it? You've got fabric and metal, haven't you? You know,
fabric and metal wings.
Yeah. You got that debate because I think the Airfix one, the one I've got here, that's fabric, isn't it? The Mark one. And people are asking, can they do it here with the metal wings one? You know, that's a re-release this year.
Yeah,
£11, £12, not bad, I suppose.
What's that? The Hurricane?
Hurricane, Hurricane Mark One. Beautiful kit, mind.
Yeah, I've heard it's nice.
It's the most accurate Hurricane in 1/72 scale.
Oh, it starts tonight. I'm going to have to record it.
Yeah, most accurate one out there, I think, if I'm right in saying.
Yeah.
Have you done a review on that yet, Moss?
No, I haven't. This one, I've got 7 kits to review this week, next week, the week after.
Busy lad.
Well, at the moment, I've never had so many. You know, I was getting quite stale on my channel. Yeah. And I've been doing writing articles, but then I've actually, instead of putting them out on Substack, I've been actually filming my articles. So, like the 3 big changes of Airfix. I've just done one on the one on Matchbox is fun. It really has.
It's a good video, though.
Yeah.
Massive.
If anybody in the comments hasn't seen that video, watch it. It's brilliant.
So I've done the 3 big.
Make sure you've got your tissues.
Brilliant, honestly.
Yeah. I've got.
I like the coin of phrase you use in some of your documentary videos. Awesome. Really good. It's funny.
What was I going to say then? Yeah, I've got the Airfix history one going out tomorrow at 7:00.
Oh, yeah.
It's 30-minute long, which is about the complete history, including explaining the Humbrol Hella saga. With Borden and General Mills. General Mills with Palatoy, Borden had the hobby product group. So I'm doing all that.
And then Maguire and McGuinness who really fucked everything up, didn't they?
Well, this is it. When they had the management buyout, anyway, we watch it. I've tried to go and I've looked. I spent a lot of time researching. I spent 2 days on it, really, just researching the timeline. So, yeah. I read the Hawk T1 is due to finish service in the RAF in 2030 and the T2 by 2040.
Yeah.
So what are they going to replace it with? That was the question.
No, there's another debate.
Yes.
Because I heard on when they were talking, because I got not shouted down, but there was talk of the Eurofighter Typhoon being the replacement.
You couldn't use that. You couldn't use that in a display aircraft.
See, Zinzan is, and Zinzan knows what he's talking about. Yeah, he thinks that the Eurofighter as an airframe is capable as a display aircraft, but the way I see it may be capable of doing it, but at cost.
Yeah.
It's not that.
It's a lot more expensive than a Hawk.
Yeah, but that's not the major issue. The major issue with the Eurofighter is it is inherently unstable, and it requires its computer system to keep it in great level flight. So imagine you've got a Diamond 9 formation of Eurofighters flying at 400 miles an hour, and one of them has a catastrophic failure of that system.
Yeah,
it would take the other. It would take the other 8 out. Right, they wouldn't be able to control it.
Right,
and that's the major issue. It's all about safety.
But anyway,
unfortunately, they've not put the investment in to have them sort of like do midlife updates.
Yeah.
So obviously replacing the wing spars and that, which they did. They have done on the Red Arrows.
Yeah.
Because I've seen photos of them restoring them at Dunsfold.
There are no Red Arrows Hawks that are totally original.
No.
Trigger's broom.
Yeah, but like Trigger's broom, exactly. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to get into politics, obviously, but with some of the issues that the Ministry of Defence are facing currently,
the
level of investments to have a Eurofighter display team, I think, is probably beyond the realms of what the powers that be would be willing to spend on a display team. Definitely.
But there seems no other option. That's what they were saying on the Facebook group. They were saying that there seems to be very little option. And like I said, I'll tell you what really got me was a lot of people were saying that the Pakistani Air Force was fantastic at Riyadh a couple of years back. Their display team was brilliant. What was the Pakistani one?
Yeah.
Or was it? It was the Pakistani. Their display made Red Arrows look like it just go back to the circus, mate. Apparently those was really good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't I recall that obviously India developed the NAT?
Yeah.
What aircraft are the Pakistani Air Force using for their display team?
K8 jet trainers.
Okay.
So, but if you watch it online, it looks pretty good. I can't remember what they're called though. What are they called? Begins with S.
I'll have a look.
Have a look. Well, it begins with S, doesn't it? Yeah.
I mean, by 2040, could be our display team. You don't know.
Well, you may laugh, but obviously at one point the Fleet Air Arm had one jet flying, and that was a Armstrong Whitworth Seahawk.
Was it?
Yeah.
That Pakistani air team called the Sherdils.
Yeah.
And they use that K8 trainer.
K8
trainers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But apparently they were really good.
Isn't the Hawk? I know the Hawk has been used as an operational aircraft, but wasn't it designed as a training aircraft originally?
It was designed as a trainer, specifically designed as a trainer.
And weapons platform
yeah.
It replaced the Hunter. It replaced the Hunter T7 and it.
The test pilots that flying the prototype were complaining that it was too stable.
Yeah.
So one muggins of an apprentice was sent up with a hacksaw, chop an inch out of the ailerons to make it unstable.
Really?
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me. The other thing that the Hawk was called by pilots was the MG of the sky, because it was the last aircraft not to be fly-by-wire.
Yeah.
You felt everything through the joystick.
Yeah.
What do the US use, John? What do the Blue Angels use? They use the F-18?
The F-18 Hornet, yeah.
Yes.
No, that's not a cheap aircraft, is it?
No, it's not.
No, but it's
I mean, I appreciate the US defense budget is a lot larger than that.
If you look at an F-18
compared to America, the UK defense budget is petty cash compared to America's play.
I mean, the F-18 Hornet, that is a full-blown, battle-ready.
It's
not something we just use for aerobatics or training. I mean, this is a frontline aircraft.
Yeah.
If you look at F-18 Hornets taking off from aircraft carriers, you'll notice the pilot has his hands completely off.
Yeah, they have to hold it, don't they?
Yeah,
because the aircraft is so set up stable that it will take off on its own. And if that pilot gets jaunted in any way by the torque force, he could end up in the sea.
Yeah.
The aircraft is so set up so well. And that's why it's a good aerobatic platform.
But it costs a fair bit of cash.
Yeah, they're about £60 million each, aren't they? Just the airframe.
Yeah.
The only one I know of, Paul, is the Revell one. Would that be right in 72nd scale? And I'm told, I've never built one, so I don't know. I would love to build one because I think it's an amazing aircraft, and I've
beautiful plane.
Been on them.
The Hornet.
No, the A400.
A4 hybrid, which is the transport aircraft, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've been on them, and I would love to build one from a nostalgia point of view, if nothing else. But I'm told that kit is not good.
Yeah, the Revell.
You pay your money, you take your chance, I suppose. The only people I know that have built them relatively successfully have built them wheels up in flight.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that becomes a space issue. I don't know how much space you have.
They're a big bugger
because it's not a small aircraft.
It's not a small aircraft. It's quite a bit larger than Herky.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been on them. They're amazing.
Mm.
It's like a small town on the back of one of those. It's amazing.
No, I was obviously when they had the big anniversary for the RAF a few years back, and obviously the planes were designated flight paths, so we had all the transport aircraft come over. They literally came over the garden. So
yeah, I mean,
I
was amazed when I was on one how for the size of the aircraft. What those pilots can do with that airframe. How maneuverable it is. Now you kind of expect that if you're on the back of a Chinook, even on a Hercules, to a point, because they throw those things around all the time. But you wouldn't expect that they can throw an A400 around to the same level, and they can do it, and do it, or did do it on a regular basis.
Yeah,
what they used to do with the Vulcan.
Yeah,
I mean, they used to hoy that all over the shop.
Yeah.
And a Vulcan's not small. When 2 years ago, 2 years in November, so Jim Clark came over to the UK for Telford. And then after the show, he stayed at my house. And then after the show, we spent a good 3 or 4 days going around various like museums and all that stuff. And Jim's a bit of an aircraft guy anyway. So at the Midlands Air Museum, which is just outside Coventry, they've got a Vulcan there. And you can actually, if you get permission and one of their guides goes with you, they will actually take you into the cockpit of the Vulcan.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can. I've got some photographs. I think they're on my Facebook, my personal Facebook page. And you can sit in the cockpit, and you can also sit behind where the pilots were in the cockpit, which is where all the sort of engineers and I don't know what you call them, people that drop the bombs.
What they call weapons officers.
And all the the radars, everything's there. You can sit in their seat and sit. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of buttons and dials. And when you look at a modern aircraft now, and it's all like LCD, touchscreen, it was proper analog technology. It was amazing.
So if you live near Gloucester and you want to do that, then if you go to the Museum of the Jet Age, which is on the Meteor Industrial Park, it's only open on a Saturday, but they have the nose section of a Vulcan, and you can do precisely that. So you climb in through the central door.
That's right,
that the pilot and all the crews to go into. That takes you into the lower section where the the WTOs go, the weapon technical officers and the navigators and all those kind of people. Then you go up to the top there through another bunch of steps. It's quite cramped. And then you the central console goes up and down so that people can get in and out.
It's amazing.
This is an aircraft that doesn't have a yoke to control. It actually has a control column, a joystick. So it flies like a small aircraft and acts like a large one, as it were.
What I found amazing was, I mean, obviously for its time, it was very technologically advanced. It was very technologically advanced aircraft. But when you go into particularly where the weapons officers sat, and everything is still analog technology. Still like buttons and switches and dials. And you think, how on earth would you learn what all of these things do? Because there's thousands of them. And it just blows your mind that someone would be that skilled and that knowledgeable.
If you look at the three, well, I mean, if you look at the pilot's seat, for example, the what you see is all of the engine dials are by 4. So the throttles are by 4. So you've got everything to do with that, and that's what makes it look really busy. But then if you look at the blind flying controls, so rate of climb and descent, altimeter, artificial horizon, those kind of, the basic controls, you can pick them out, and then everything else is extraneous around that, and it's basically head out of the cockpit apart from that. So it is possible to do. On the back side, in the lower section, you've got 3 guys looking at these control sets, and they've only got certain numbers of components to really look at. So it's not that bad. And just to call back on that, Emma's just asked, where is that? That's the Museum of the Jet Age. It's in Gloucester. And if you just Google Meteor Industrial Park, you'll be able to find it. It's a very, very nice museum. It's worthwhile going to.
I would absolutely be like, do you remember the Fools and Horses episode with Uncle Albert? And he said when he was on radar duty and his ship sank, and he's like, I was looking at the screen, but it was on blibs and blobs. That would be me looking at that radar screen in the Vulcan. It's all blibs and blobs. I don't know what's going on.
The story about the Vulcan, I mean, the reason why it survived so long had purely to do with the fact that it was tough enough to fly at both high level and low level.
Yeah,
it was the only one of the 3 V bombers that could do that. So and these things were incredibly tough, and they were flown by people who knew how to get the most out of them.
There's a documentary. I think it's still on YouTube. I watched it a few years ago now, and it was
XH558.
No, it was about V-Force, and it was about the crews that were part of V-Force. And I think it was filmed sort of at the time when they were operational. So when was that? Like early 80s, probably, when it was filmed.
No, probably would have been in the early 70s.
It was filmed at the time, because you can tell when you watch it. But these guys were so brave, because they knew if it was for real, and the mutually assured destruction, that when they took off with their nuclear warheads, when they took off, by the time they dropped their nuclear warhead where it needed to be and came back, there'd be nowhere to land.
Yeah, that's right.
That's brave.
Yeah,
because as soon as you take off, that's it.
Yeah, got a belly land.
But there would be nowhere to land. There'd be no UK. Destroyed.
You know when you went inside that Vulcan, Luke, you noticed how cramped some of the walkways were.
I think, knowing from personal experience, most military hardware, I don't know much about aircraft, because obviously I wasn't a pilot, but I've sat in the Harrier GR9, and bits and bobs. But most military hardware is very, very uncomfortable to be inside.
Yeah, it is.
Harrier GR9 is quite spacious compared to the GR1.
But if you can imagine climbing around that Vulcan cockpit wearing an anti-radiation suit, which makes your body nearly twice the size it really is.
But when you look at ground hardware, which obviously I have more to do with, so you look at the back of a Warrior, and again, you could be in full NBC rig, or you're carrying more weight than you actually weigh, and there's no room. There is no room. It's very uncomfortable, and in 55-degree heat with no air conditioning, full of sand and dust, and it's not comfortable. It's not but it's not designed to be comfortable.
All you've got to look at is for cramped conditions. You look at some of the World War II armor, like the Hetzer.
Yeah,
the 109.
And that was a four-person crew on an Hetzer. How the hell did they fit in?
But then you look at if you look at World War One, and if you go to the tank museum, they've actually got one of the first tanks that was used.
Yeah,
and they cut out the side of it so you can see inside. The engine was open.
Yeah.
Inside the tank. So you imagine that engine running, it's going to be pumping out all sorts of noxious gases because it's running, and the crew are inside it.
Oh yeah.
Like, and the noise and everything, like, amazing.
Very toxic environment.
But then look at the size of tanks.
And then you don't want to get out because some twat's going to try and shoot you. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, though. It's like, you know, I built the Chieftain from Tamiya and the Jackman, the M36 at the same time. It's like a difference in size of the tanks, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, the difference is, and it's 135th, but you know, the difference in size now. You look at the size, the engine compartment in the back of that compared to this one. You know.
Yeah, but if you think like the Challenger 2 or Challenger 3 now, really, the actual vehicle itself isn't changed all that much. It's more upgrading the computer systems and everything else.
ERA and all that.
But I've been inside a Challenger 2. There is no room. There is no room for the crew because the majority of that space, and that's not a small tank, it's quite big.
Yeah.
But the majority of the space is used for power plant.
Yeah.
Because the armor is so much heavier than the armor that was used in World War II, so it needs the power to move it.
Yeah.
So most of it's power plant. Then you've got all this storage of ammunition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, the crew survivability is high on the priority list of the crew, but crew comfort is right at the bottom of the line.
Yeah.
You'll suffer, but you'll live.
Yeah. You might be uncomfortable, but you might survive. So
I'll take the latter.
Yeah. But every British tank still has the facilities of making a brew.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's so British, isn't it?
Even the Stalwart has the facilities to brew.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You can still make a brew in the middle of the desert. If you want a cup of tea, you can have one.
Yeah.
On cruise, interesting.
So what do you get in an Abrams? You just get a can of Coke?
No idea. I've never been in one.
They've got Budweiser on draft.
Exactly.
That'll be what it is. Yeah. Do you want another one, man?
You have a Budweiser.
Well, generally they take Pizza Hut wherever they go, so you've only got to drive it to the Pizza Hut. You can have a pizza and then drink. They're not sure.
I think the Lancaster, you can make a brew on the Lancaster. Because they had a tea urn in it, I think.
I think, yeah. Anyways, folks, it's 10 o'clock now. Thank you so much for watching. We had nearly 250 in the chat, which was brilliant at one point.
Good discussion.
Unlike Jimmy Kimmel, we will be back next Monday. So have a good one, folks, and have a great rest of your week. Take care and good night.
Bye.
Good night.
See you later, folks.
Night.